All right, Jesse on Fire. Welcome back. So I did a live stream last night where I talked about Candace Owens' comeback stream where she talked about Mike McCoy, and she showed some text messages from Charlie that have set the world on fire, including, including my, I don't know how to even describe the impact that had on me when I saw Charlie's text to her from 2018. It's, we'll see how I do. Because I'm going to talk about those, and we'll see if I'm able to get through that. If you see cuts, you will know it's because I failed to get through talking about that without just being like, nope, not going to let them see me look like that, But so also, TPUSA has now responded to what Candace said about Mike McCoy. So we're going to look at that right now. First, we're going to go through what she said. I want to show you the video of Mike McCoy. I find it very weird, man. Like really, 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 really weird. And I'll tell you why. And then we'll kind of recap a couple things I talked about last night. And we'll look at the text, and then we're going to look at what TPUSA says, and that is exactly what we're going to do. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, I would appreciate it if you guys would do that. By the way, I am in YouTube jail, okay? I'll tell you exactly what happened really quick, okay? So just for any of you guys who are creators out there, this is good information to have, okay? So you have a rating system. You are responsible for rating your own content, okay? If you rate your own content as good for ads, and then you were wrong and your videos get demonetized, you get banged, okay? If you have too many of them, then your reach gets banged, okay? So I had 14 in the last 2 months. I didn't even realize I had that many because they went back and demonetized a bunch. But like today, I had a couple videos that the analytics are insane. Right now I have one that's doing a 25% click-through rate with an 11-minute watch time, and not one new person has seen it. So if you guys don't mind helping me by forwarding this video to your friends, like just forward it around, man. Send it to your buddies. If you have any friends that watch my content, please send it to them in text message. Be like, hey, did you see this yet? Put it up on social media. Help me break out of YouTube jail because it really is infuriating when it happens. And anyway, subscribe to the channel and all of that stuff. That's the last thing I'm going to say about it. All right, now let's watch this weird video of Mike McCoy after Charlie Kirk got shot.
A couple of seconds later, he takes out his phone and he begins recording himself. It's a selfie video. Takes a video of himself. So let's watch that video.
They just shot Charlie. They just shot Charlie. They just shot Charlie. They just shot Charlie. He's dead. God help him.
Okay, so let me talk for a second about that, okay? So a buddy of mine texted me today. This is a guy who's of sound mind, okay? This is not one of my crazy friends. I have a lot of real crazy friends. This is not one of them. And he was like, have you considered that Charlie could, like, for real be alive? And I was like, no. No, I have not. He's all, I mean, listen, dude, it would explain everything. And I'm like, he's not, though. He's like, but it would explain everything. And I'm like, but he's not, Like, the video that I showed of Charlie from the side, one of the reasons that one of my videos got 18 plus, which is why I'm in YouTube jail. I got 18 plus on that one, and I got 18 plus, wait for it, not on footage from Charlie Kirk, but because in my video about the AI apocalypse, I talked about how AI had talked a child into, and that got 18 plus. And I have not had a single video trend since then. Okay. Anyway, neither here nor there. But, yeah, I mean, the video that I took, that I showed from the side when Charlie got shot came from the person who like they were there. Like they were there. They videoed it themselves. So I was like, look, man, I know this is real. And I was thinking about something like, man, this is like, my boy went flat earth on me. Then I watched this again, like I watched that clip again. And seriously, like this is that weird. One of the weirdest things I have ever seen in my entire life. Now, another really weird thing is that you have still not subscribed to my channel or liked this video, or both, something to think about, because that would be really helpful. So now I want to move over to the text messages, where I am actually, as of this moment, I can't even believe I'm going to say this. What if Charlie Kirk orchestrated his own murder? Like, I'm serious. I realize listen, I'm not like, this is not like a theory I'm going to, die on a hill about, but given that guy's reaction just now, and I can't, this is scrambling my brain, but I want to show you the text messages, and I don't think that he actually did that, but I'm just still trying to reconcile what I just saw. This is a text thread between Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens from 2018, okay? I'm just going to read these. So Candace says, yes, you do. Charlie says, Kanye, you are going to be the Iron Lady of America. I see it so freaking clearly. I might be Moses, though. I might not see this whole thing through. If that is the case, be my David. And she said, dude, you don't even realize your power yet. He says, if I tell you the true prophecy, I know in my gut it's really sad, but I hope it's wrong. And then he says, anyway, I'm not sure if I will live to see the end of this revolution. I believe you were the peace God meant me to meet that will finish the fight. Since the beginning of TPUSA, I knew in my gut that I might get wiped out at any time. I cannot explain it, but I dream about it all the time. Like all the time. Anyway, that's depressing convo for another time. And she said, that is so weird. More a fear manifestation than an actualization. And he says, not really afraid of it, but I'm just telling you what I know to be true. So he prophesied his own death in 2018. And the reason that was so, the reason that is so heavy for me to think about is if you really think about what that means, I want to have a real conversation about this before I talk about the other thing. It's like, I always said that a person who has purpose from when they're very young and it's their only purpose and they know their purpose, it's so rare. And Charlie's one of those people that knew he had a purpose. He believed it in his core to the point that he knew that his purpose was going to be the end of his life, and he dedicated his entire life to it. And if you look at what this is, his purpose was all of the values that I think are most important. America, family values, building your life around faith and all of this stuff. And it's like, so there's no way for me to shake the feeling that he sacrificed his life for us. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how else to interpret that. He knew that he was going to die. He knew it. He wrote it right there. I hate that I even mentioned the thing about him orchestrating his own death, because I obviously don't think that that's true. I just that was honestly I just thought of it at the time after watching that weird reaction, because the reality is that he knew he had a purpose, and he knew in his heart enough to where he would talk about it like that he was not going to be around once what his goal was actualized. Just actually think about that, dude. Think about using your entire life to fight for something that you will not be around to enjoy. Think about what level of higher purpose that represents. And why it lands so heavy for me is because who is certainly going to be around for that future that he helped create, gave his life to create? My kids. I don't me, whatever. My kids though, and my grandkids will be around for that. And he knew it, and he did it anyway. That lands pretty heavy for me. Now, let me go into a different level of conversation around this. I realize it's absurd to even say this, but is it possible that he orchestrated this himself? I mean, I can't even get those words out of my mouth, but I just, again, I go back to this reaction from Mike, and it's just so weird. I don't know what to make of this other than that. This thing is just that weird, man. And I don't know what to make of it. But what we're going to do now is we are going to see TPUSA's response to it. And Actually, I guess I should wait to see if I like it. I mean, but I feel like these guys are fighting a battle that they should not necessarily need to be fighting. You know, I don't think like Andrew in the middle, the dude on the right. I haven't seen the guy on the far left speak about this yet, so this will be interesting. But the guy in the middle, Andrew, and the other guy on the right, I've seen them talk about this. You're not going to convince me these guys were involved in killing Charlie Kirk. Bottom line, okay? And especially not after the things that I have uncovered in the last week or so. All of which point in a very different direction than TPUSA, okay? You might be able to convince me that there's like a state actor, a bigger, some bigger actor, but it was the trans kids and their little online gamer group that were frantically trying to disconnect themselves from each other. And all they did is they showed me exactly where to look, me and my team, like we got your logs, dude. You know what I mean? We got your we got your Steam logs. We see what you guys said to each other. We see who's who. We know who's connected to who. Sky Valdez, another boyfriend. Oh, by the way, Lance Twiggs has another boyfriend. Okay? So look forward to that one. Okay? Because Lance Twiggs has another boyfriend. And there are some very interesting connections there. Anyway, let's watch this. That's another video, so make sure that you watch that. That's coming. Oh, and by the way, real quick, just in case for some reason you have not seen this video.
And they're
okay, right there. FBI suppressing evidence as leaks implicate Lance Twiggs in Kirk assassination. That's the one you need to watch. By the way, I just want to say something real quick, okay? If someone would have told me at any point of my career that I would have, like this would be what my view count was like. Oh, okay, 121,000, 109,000, 80,000, 106,000, 82, 111, 72, 109, 226, 108, that's like what my front page would look like, or 109 right there, that I would be complaining about my view counts. I would have been like, well, if that ever happens, make sure that you take a sledgehammer and put it through my forehead. But, I can't help it, dude. I can't help it. That my audience is the size that it is, and I am being blocked from from trending now. I don't like it, okay? I don't like it. I really appreciate your guys' help, but I am incredibly grateful for everything that I have, especially for you guys. But yeah, if you have not watched this one, you definitely want to watch that after this, okay? Now let's watch TPUSA.
Went viral this weekend, and it's a video of Charlie's chief of staff. We made the decision that we wanted to address this head on because, candidly, there's so much intrigue, and I'm gonna do a generous thing.
Hey, we wanted to address this because we watched the video and it's so fucked up that we don't know how else to move forward without addressing this. I have to go bleep out the F-bomb. Gosh! It's so much more easy when I could just swear all the time. All right, bleeped it out, okay? If you guys want me to be able to swear, you need to forward this stuff so I can stop having to worry about F-bombs.
The intrigue is because people care about Charlie, okay? Yep. So that part I understand.
You're more generous than I'd be.
Yes, and that's fine. And
No, that is correct, at least for me. Okay, there's something going on with my mic, so I need to keep these on and make sure you're not getting any feedback. But anyway, I skipped forward just a little bit, and all we missed was Andrew set up the dude on the far right, Blake Neff, who is one of the producers, because he was actually there on site. And so he's like, tell us about, what you saw from Mike McCoy, and what did you see that day?
Following it at length, but it's gone viral and people have asked us to address it, and we're going to do so briefly. The video, without going way into it, is by, I can't even remember the guy's name. Someone made a video that is attacking Mikey, Charlie's friend, Charlie's chief of staff, a guy all of us know, a guy who we've seen on the show here the last few weeks. They are attacking him, claiming, based on a few seconds of clips, that he allegedly has like a nonchalant or calm reaction to Charlie's murder. And I'm just going to be blunt about this. This is a extremely disgusting attack. And I can speak to that because I was there when it happened and I was next to Mikey when it happened. And what I can say is, I can't say every single thing that happened, but I want to talk about this specific narrow thing. That the shooting occurs. I am next to Mikey. Both of us hear a loud crack. We both turn. We both see Charlie, who has been shot. Both of us, I think at about the same time, realize that means there is a shooter who is on the scene. And, you just hear the crack, so you don't know, did it come from far away? Did it come from close? Is there a mass shooter unfolding right now? So I and him both had the reaction of, let's get out of here before we are both shot. That is not us abandoning Charlie. Charlie had a security team. They all leapt immediately into action, and they got Charlie out of there, which was what their job was to do. My job was not to get in the way and screw this up because, like, I had to be a hero. That was not my job. I remember even running past, both of us going past the SUV that we came in on, and me thinking, should I get in that car? And then thinking, no, that's a really stupid thing to do.
Okay, so first impression, based on his body language and especially his eyes, he is definitely referencing memories as he's telling the story, okay? Now, what you want to look for if you're like a person who thinks that you can read people is keep your eye, like watch their eyes. And if you're able to see when they're referencing memories, see if his body language changes or his eyes change, if he, has some kind of detail that would exonerate him or Mike. And then just, we're just going off of instinct. Of course, the story they're going to tell is going to, dispute any ideas that Mike McCoy did something wrong. But again, I'm not necessarily saying Mike McCoy did something wrong. I'm just saying you're going to have a hard time convincing me that video is him doing anything other than being super fucking weird.
So I was not with Mikey, or I don't remember being with him. I think I was ahead of him as we left. And then we get out, and I run for, can't have been more than 15 or 20 seconds. And then I realized there hasn't been another shot, so the shooter has likely been detained or stopped or something, not in immediate danger. I pause, I look around me, and I see Mikey. And I see Mikey there. And I will never forget what I saw, because I've seen Mikey almost every day for the past 2 years. I know his personality very well. He's a very bubbly guy. He's a very happy guy almost all of the time. And I'll never forget what I saw, because it was clear in the moment that he was profoundly freaked out. What I'll always remember is the way his lip was quivering, which I'd never seen before. And you very rarely see from someone that he was freaking out. And then I think he literally said to me, I might be imagining this, but I think what he literally said was, he was looking around, and then he says, I need to call Erica. And then he takes his phone and he begins calling Erica. And I don't want to disclose how that call unfolded, but he did that. Your mind extends all of this, but that is happening within a minute of all of this occurring. I remember he calls Erica. Around the same time, I pull out my phone and I call my mom just to say, Mom, there's been a shooting. You're going to see it on the news. I'm okay. Pray for me. I've got to go. And I remember that call. And around the time I put that phone away, and then he immediately calls his dad. He calls Rob McCoy. And he says, Dad, someone shot Charlie. You need to call all of your pastor friends. Charlie was hit. We need everyone to pray right now. And that's what he told him. And I guess it's very disgusting for me as someone who witnessed this, who saw Mikey hugely distressed and then step up in the moment, because after that call was over, I saw Mikey get total mastery of himself, that he realized he had to step up in this situation. And from that point, he was like a general directing a battle, where he was, grabbing people and saying, okay, we need to get to the hospital, and we need to do these things, and you guys need to wait here. I need to get in here to get information so that I can get it to.
He looks different to me now. Listen, okay, I, as you guys know, am very much wanting to give TPUSA the benefit of the doubt, and I am doing that. I am absolutely doing that, and I have always done that. I've given them the benefit of the doubt. That said, okay, you are saying that this dude's lip was quivering immediately after, okay? Okay, so we're picking up where Mike McCoy was the general telling everybody that they need to go to the hospital, etc.
We need to do these things, and you guys need to wait here. I need to get in here to get information so that I can get it to Erica. And when we learned he was dead, he came out and he told us, and then he says, now none of you can say anything that you've heard, because Erica is not going to hear about this from anyone except me.
Can I ask a question? I've just been thrown into this 10 minutes ago, but there's a suggestion online that Mikey, Charlie's chief of staff, one of the most sincere people you'd ever meet, brilliant, Christian, kind, everyone he ever met in his entire life, couldn't hurt a fly, was part of a conspiracy to murder Charlie. That's what's going on.
Yeah. It's vile. It's utterly vile.
Who would do this?
It absolutely. If he, I don't know these people. I just want to be clear. I don't know these people. I'm doing my best to just tell you what I see, and I have gone way out of my way to not throw any accusations at TPUSA at all. Like none. I've gone out of my way to do that because, and if I saw something that I thought was credible, I would. I absolutely would. But, and I mean, the reason specifically for that is because if they didn't, it's such a massive accusation. It's exactly the fucking, it's the opposite of what Charlie would want. It's the last thing that Charlie would want. And there's so much evidence that it's these other guys that I am investigating. I'm literally getting messages right now that are bolstering that it is the exact people who we have. I mean, not just Tyler by himself, but a whole crew of them. Okay. We're just compiling more and more evidence on these guys. And it's like, you know, I don't know. If these guys didn't do it, I mean, this is vile, dude. If they didn't do it, like to just be throwing this at these guys.
Like, what type of individual? Just to create content, do we think, or is there some? What's the ulterior?
I don't know. I think a lot of this mindset just sort of fuels itself. It's sort of addictive in the same way a lot of social media stuff is addictive, or in the way like.
Hang on, is he the dude on the far left, the Breitbart editor? Is he like acting like he's unaware of any of this stuff? I mean, I don't know.
Honestly, something like pornography is addictive or something. Like they get really, they almost get a high off of like the idea of like that they're doing something that's daring or out there.
Yeah, and I want to make one other point.
No. Well, I don't know, maybe other people. For me, like, especially, I can say this very clearly after, I mean, I hope that I demonstrated my sincerity when I covered Charlie's text messages, you know, prophesizing his own death and his own sacrifice for beliefs that I think are more important than any other that we could collectively stand for. And this is the organization that Charlie built that he believed would be the vehicle for the revolution that he was going to die for. Okay? Like, you need to keep that in mind. And everyone should. I realize, dude, Candace is on a warpath, and Candace believes that she is, I mean, like, think about the responsibility that she feels is on her. Okay? Like, think about the responsibility that Candace believes is on her shoulders, given the text messages that we now saw were exchanged between her and Charlie in 2018. He literally said, I'm going to be killed for this revolution, and you are going to be the person that carries this and completes my mission. He said that to her. And then it came true. If you think that her motivation is not pure, I don't agree with you. You might not agree with now, and I'm telling you, I think she's pointing herself in the wrong direction. I think that she's attacking TPUSA, and I don't really see any, I mean, maybe she knows things that I don't. I personally do not see evidence that you know, makes me believe that it's them. Like, I think what she should be doing, which is, you know, this ship has sailed now. I think what Charlie meant for her is that she should be going campus to campus and picking up the mantle where he left off. That's what he meant for her, dude. And, you know, selfishly, I would love to watch her just eat these little nerds. Just eat them alive, dude. Let them go in there and talk all their trash. But, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Mike McCoy's behavior is extremely weird. That doesn't mean that he conspired to murder Charlie. If she has information that I'm not privy to, which is likely, then I just wish she would share it, because I don't know. I'm just seeing a lot of evidence that it's, you know, these kids, and there's a lot more coming, like a lot more. And I'm compiling it. If you have not watched that video that I put up yesterday, FBI suppressing information, Lance Twiggs, watch it. Okay? Trust me.